Good evening and welcome to Mishna Yomi. Today we are learning Masechah Sheviis Perek Vav. We're finishing Perek Vav. We'll be beginning Perek Zayin. A very joyous time to learn part of two different programs Masechah Sheviis. We are most of the way done. Sheviis is only 10 programs, so we are more than halfway done Masechah Sheviis, and Sheviis will not be over by the time we're done. But you will know about Hilchos Sheviis, so you can come to Eretz Yisrael, or you can be in it, can remain in Eretz Yisrael, and know how to act with the Shemitah fruit. Vav ein mevi'in truma mechutz la'aretz. Parak vav Mishnah. Vav ein mevi'in truma mechutz la'aretz. This has nothing to do with Sheviis, but we're talking about bringing things from chutz la'aretz. So truma, which is you give truma gdola to the Kohen. You can't if it happens to be in chutz la'aretz, you can't bring it to Eretz Yisrael because the way you get truma is by going after it, and people, Kohanim, are going to run to Chutz La'aretz to get their truma. They're going to want to bring it to Eretz Yisrael. Maybe they'll remain in Chutz La'aretz. We want people to miyashiv Eretz Yisrael, to live in Eretz Yisrael. They're going to go there. Amar Rabbi Yoshua Shemadi v'Peirush Shemaviyim Syria. Syria is close there. Syria is close to Eretz Yisrael, so they can get truma from Syria. They ain't being in Chutz La'aretz. Chutz La'aretz far away. America, you can't bring truma in from America. The customs will stop you. That he agrees with, but we don't pass the Gershim. And even Syria, you can't go and bring truma in there to Israel. Truma, Chutz La'aretz stays in Chutz La'aretz. If you want to get truma, and truma is made of rice in Eretz Yisrael, so you have to stay in Eretz Yisrael and live in Eretz Yisrael. Perek Klal Gadol, seventh perek of Masechah Sheviis, Mishna Ala Klal Gadol Amru b'Shvius. A big rule, a big general rule they said by Sheviis. Kol shu Michael Adam. In order to fall into the rubric of Sheviis, it has to be either edible food for people, or Michael Behem. If it's not food for people, if it's food for animals, or like the Mefarshim explain, Minat Sofin. Not only is, even if it's not food fodder for animals, it's something which acts as a dye. It dyes your clothes. Even if it's not a dye, but it's something which will rot. It's the type of thing which is fresh and dried out. It will rot if it stays in the ground too long. Yesh lo Sheviis. It has kedusha Sheviis with dam of Sheviis. If you sell it, it also, the money gets kedusha shmita on it all. And if you exchange it for something else, the Gemara explains that the fruit always remains shmita, and the last thing you exchange it for also gets kedusha shmita. Yesh lo biur l'dam of biur, because it has kedusha shmita, so you have to get rid of it once it finishes for the chayos in the field. I guess sometimes in the middle of the winter, Shemitah year, you have to get rid of it. You have to see beer. What is beer? We'll get into that. What a beer actually means. You have to actually eat it, get rid of it, or you have to actually burn it. Well, a dumb of beer. And again, if you purchase something, if you purchase or you exchange it for money, so the money would also have kedusha shmita. You have to do via the money. What are types of things that are included in these four categories that you would probably not think they were included in these four categories? Haluf hashota. Ale haluf hashota, a leaf of this type of onion, hashota. It's not a very common one. Something which doesn't have too much ochlin. It says in Mishna, oxen doesn't have, you can't get tuma of an ochel. It's not called a food for that. For Shemitah, it is called a food. But ale hadandana, this refers to mint, right? Which basically could be used, I guess, for tea and to spice things and to mint chocolate. Ha'ulshin, the accretion, these are things which are normally they're grown both in the garden form and in the wild form. And during Shemitah, there's no gardening, so that's the chiddush, that even though normally the one in the field is not worth anything, during Shemitah it is worth something, because you can't go in the gardens. Therefore, it has to be a Shemitah of ha regila. Regila is a reference to chaluk loglos. I think the Gemara Megillah against pickles, cucumbers. Vanetz hachalav, this is a type of plant or tree which has a white liquid that comes out of it. You squeeze it. Michael behema, again, anything which is fodder for animals. Hacholkim b'adardarim, types of thorns and thistles. This is a big chiddush. Have kedusha shmita. Minatzovim, like things which produce dye. Sviche istis. It's a type of aftergrowth which produces a dye for tcheles. I thought tcheles comes from a snail. I don't know the Farshim saying it was from. Did you color tcheles with a kotza? Again, another type of dye. Yesh lehem Sheviis l'mein. Sheviis, they have kedusha shmiyas. And again, if you exchange them for money, the money gets kedusha shmiyas. Yesh lehem biur l'mein. Biur, you have to get rid of them, and you have to get rid of the money also. Stay tuned for Iyun HaMishnah. We're going to discuss why it is that things like Kedusha Shemitah, even things like thorns and thistles have Kedusha Shemitah. For example, like kilayim, we learn that unless it's fed to animals, it doesn't have kilayim. Why kilayim? Not by thorns and thistles. Shemitah, yes. It's a fundamental share. You don't want to miss it. See you there. Bye.